fried pork skins. Willie the dog's favorite, he's gone. We also have a half-eaten box of Pop-Tarts and
peanut M&M remnants.
An empty, an empty bottle of water.
Hello, I'm Jim Jameson, and here at Sea Otter, which is pretty awesome to be back at a show again and just talking about the new range and a little bit of the development story behind it and kind of where that evolved. So we ended up bringing, rather than a bunch of new bikes, we kind of brought the evolution of the range and where it started. So you're looking at an early mule with front center adjustment, shock adjustment, and rear center adjustment. So lots of kind of options to choose from as we kind of went through that first stage. Then we made a rapid prototype, which we call our RP sample, which is more of a looking, kind of check everything sample. And that's kind of step 2. And then you move on to the first carbon, kind of what we call a looking sample or kind of a pre-production sample. So we can, again, do a little bit of ride testing, a little bit more evaluation, cable routing, dial all that stuff in, and then basically to the final version, which will come in all sizes at that point and be made of the carbon molds for the stays, front triangles, and pretty much the finished product. And then kind of on to the complete bike. This one was kind of a custom build for the show. It was cool. We won the Pink Bike of the Year award this year for this bike, so kind of did the gold mock-up with the gold award there. But really the kind of background behind this bike is there's kind of lots of new stuff going on here. The big one being our Gravity Tune, which is rear center adjust for every frame size, but that evolved into different seat tube angles for every size, different head tube angles for every size, different links for every size to make sure the kinematics were right and the leverage ratios for all sizes of riders. So it's a bike that's not the same when you dial in the large. It's not the same as the medium. It's a completely different geometry that just makes sense for that rider. So that's why you'll see the different steeper seat tubes as the sizes grow, a little bit slacker head tubes as the sizes grow. So lots of details. And then obviously our ride-align setup guide's a big part of this. So that'll dial in everything from bar width to shock settings to tire pressures. So even with a properly tuned shock that we use the same spec shock for all price points of the range, you get that added kind of fine tune when you go on our website and dial the bike into your riding style, where you ride, your kind of ability, your skill, your weight, your height. So that's kind of that last step of getting this bike totally dialed. But yeah, other than that, you know, you'll see really good low standover frame, very long droppers up to 200, 210s on the XL and the large. So that's kind of really nice to be able to slam that seat out of the way. So very straight seat tubes. Just modern enduro geometry. A lot of rearward axle path in this bike just to be able to attack that terrain better. And really you can pedal this bike uphill really well, conserve energy, and be able to just mow through downhill sections like a big DH bike. So it's 170 front, 170 rear. And, you know, it's full carbon, chain stay, seat stay, front triangle. And, yeah, we come in 3 different price points, but really it's just a super capable enduro bike. And that was really the purpose of this bike, was to build a EWS level race bike.
Hey everyone, Jake Panto here with Envy Composites, and we're out here at the Sea Otter. Most of you know us most as a wheel and component brand, and that's something we've been heavily focused on for the last 15 years. And last year, in 2021, we introduced our first road frame. It's something that our customers have been asking for many years, and it's something we've had on our mind since day one. We've always wanted to be more than just a wheel and component brand, and so here at my side, we have one sample, one model of the Envy Custom Road.
name's Colin. I'm with Camelback on the marketing team. So I'll take you through a few of the packs we have here. So this is our redesigned meal pack. It's kind of a staple in the line. We recently redesigned it. New back panel setup and all that. Moving on, we have our Mule Evo, which is almost completely waterproof, so perfect for the water climates. And it has a bit of a vest style harness, so a bit of a hybrid between a pack and a vest. Moving on up to our bigger packs, we have the Mule Pro. This is cover our top of the line, larger capacity pack. It's got a big old air support back panel and a low bearing hip belt, so for those big rides. And it's also an e-bike battery pocket in there, so you can haul an extra battery. And then we'll jump over to these. This is our Chase vest. So this is kind of a top pick from all of our athletes. Great for enduro or gravel riding. Really sits high on the back, super secure, and some pockets up front for nutrition.
Latest. Oh! What? All right. There you go. Woo!
Well, we were talking about how we can mess with that.
You guys finish it?
Why are you like this? Who are you? It's good to get it started before the thing.
Yeah.
I feel so refreshed. Hey, I'm Matt from Fox, and we have at the show today the new 36. So 36 was launched and updated with much of the tech that you see in the 38 and the 40. But new to the 36 this year is an updated crown. So what we're doing is we have increased overlap on stanchion as well as the steering tube, just to increase durability around that junction. Obviously the same sort of tech that we were looking at with the 38, but in a lighter chassis. So that updated crown allowed us to actually take 20 grams off the fork while maintaining the same stiffness that you expect from the 36. The additional stuff that you saw in the 38 update, you're seeing here, you have the lower leg air bleeders, air bypass channels, BBC, aerial valve control, as well as the grip 2. We also introduced the Cavolt X, which in conjunction with the floating axle, it's just a lighter system overall than what our systems were. So all new for Fox this year is the 32 taper cast. It's a new ground up fork design, specifically for gravel. It's the lightest fork Fox has ever made at 1,226 grams. Suspension in gravel is amazing because what you're doing is instead of finding solutions with little like dampers, things like that, you're actually going out of your way to suspend the rider. It increases control. We know this from mountain. As long as you can get rebound going, you're not having that like undamped suspension of like a big tire. You get better contact, better control. We have a Fit 4 in here, which again, obviously, tune that puppy up. It's a short travel, so we actually made that air shaft specifically for short travel suspension. You have a 40 mil and a 50 mil option. We're really looking to assist the rider with small bump compliance, so it's not made for big hits, but over time as you're racing or riding some of the more challenging terrain that gravel bikes can do now, you're just looking to prevent fatigue, make the ride more enjoyable, and really give you that control that you need. The Fork features a reverse arch to assist with clearance, rebound adjust. We have our Cavolt axle as well. Fork features lockout as well as 12 clicks of compression. The Fork was designed around 700C, since for a lot of people, 650B was a solution for running a really big tire, which was, again, undamped suspension, not the best way to get comfort out of the bikes. At 700C, you're looking at a 50C tire max. It is built with fender mount compatibility, so you can put in something like a 47 or 45 dependent on tire and fender clearance. The Fork is 160 native, so you're looking at that slightly bigger rotor for obviously the slightly bigger applications that we're looking at. It can go up to 180. The 32 taper cast pairs well with our Transfer SL. So we have 50 and 75 mil versions of the Transfer SL in 27.5. So if you have a gravel bike, you have internal routing for that. There's a lot of capability you can get out of that bike. The Transfer SL sit-dot system. It's up-down, super light. So SLS is the super light spring. It is a super simple system. Very light. You're shaving 25% of the weight off of a transfer post. So you're looking at something that's only 325 grams for the lightest configuration. And it pairs with something like our AX lever for drop bar applications. And then if you are using it for cross country, we have thumb actuators you can use as standard guys. This year, Easton launched a new gravel handlebar, our EC90AX series handlebar. It takes the same cues from basically what's the most popular handlebar in gravel, which is the EC70AX handlebar. That's a big OE spec. It's a lot of people going out of their way to get a covered handlebar. Look for that car. We have 16 degrees of flare, which is just enough to give you control in the drops, but without doing too much flare to your shifters. The new EC90 level AX has ergonomically shaped tops, but in each of the widths, we do a different size of top. So there's more fits for different riders. Instead of having a 40C width with the same top as a 46, you get those different shapes. Slightly arrowed out a little bit, increases some compliance. Similar to the Transfer SL, Easton launched the AX level, the EA90 AX dropper post. It comes in a 50 and a 70 titanium bolt that we also can actuate with our drop bar lever, which you can use this puppy to actuate the system when you're running something like DI2. If you're running Shimano with the dummy lever, you can also actuate the post with that. So earlier this year, Raceface launched the redesigned Atlas pedal. Redesigned Atlas pedal was built for durability. So what we were looking at was, on the inboard, we have a captured sealed cartridge bearing. And on the interior, we have a IGUS bushing. We have a self-lubricating IGUS bushing that was designed for the pedal. We have 20 pins, concave platform. It's thinner than it was before. And you can also, with these super long pins, you can adjust the fit. We provide you the spacers to do that. And you can increase sort of that shaping for however you want to set up the pedal. Again, lifetime warranty. It comes in 9 colors, so 9 anodized colors. We don't have all of them here. But it is the grippiest, most popular pedal in the Raceface line.
Awesome. Gold standard.
Gold standard.
Ceramic Speed, so Sea Otter 2022. Talking about some of the cool new stuff that we have here. Really, we're starting out with making sure that we're all taking care of the bearings that we have in our bikes that we love. So we just introduced the new Ceramic Speed Duocode Clean for bearings. Super easy product to use, non-toxic, biodegradable, so that way you get on the hands, use it inside. Nothing to worry about, but it helps keep the bearings super clean for your service. And we upgraded our packaging, making it real easy to be able to have the grease that you need, filling the bearings, details for usage in there so everyone can feel comfortable knowing what they're using, how much they need to use, and what the benefits are. So this is all about bearing care, making sure that your bearings are spinning as long as possible. We got great warranties, 4-year on standard stuff, lifetime warranty on the coated stuff. So this is how you keep that spinning and keep the maximum efficiency. So we can talk about what those products are. We got some mountain bike and road products. Another new thing this week, we just introduced our blue color as a standard fully wheel color. This spring we've added gold, so the rainbow is really starting to fill in, giving your riders more options. So black, red, gold, and blue are now available. We also have the classic 3D printed, that's hollow titanium. Always trying to hang on in this wind. It's wild out here. That's why we like being outside at Sea Otter. And then we got the other stuff, your T47, native fitment. Get the correct bottom bracket set up in there. We got the BB86, BB92 stuff. Again, we talked about lifetime warranty on the coated bearings, simple service, full and dust covers, being able to have everything fit really well. Also, last month we introduced the SRAM Rival Axis, the OSBW system now, so covering all the key compatibilities. 12-speed Shimano road groups came out this year as well with OSBWs. So we're trying to fill in all the gaps, make sure any kind of rider, road, gravel, or mountain can have a good ride. You know, it's all about, we're saying right now, to cover more ground, so being able to ride farther, even if you don't have a finish line, but just being able to enjoy your ride better. So here we go, is a gravel setup, a GRX in that beautiful blue in the sunlight there. So these guys are fantastic, give you up to that 42 tooth compatibilities on your GRX and RX 800 rails. And then here's the really cool stuff in the sun. These are Cerakote limited editions, so OSBWX, SRAM Eagle Axis, SRAM Eagle Mechanical, as well as XT/XTR for Shimano 12-speed. Got a beautiful OD green here, this bronze edition, and then behind me I have a gunmetal silver as well. So really giving us some new colors, customization opportunities for the riders to make their bikes a little more personable, and also lowering the drag, increasing efficiency, giving you a chance to cover more ground. All right, so here we have some of our last things. Another new thing launched here is SLT, solid lubricant technology, now for the aftermarket, so you can add this to your bike. In Q4 last year, we added it for the OEM partners and some headsets and pivot bearings. Now we're coming aftermarket. This is a solid polymer that's baked into the bearing, and so it fully encapsulates the ball. It's oil infused to keep the lubricity high. It's ideal for headsets and pivot bearings. Lifetime warranty, zero maintenance, zero corrosion. Set it and forget it. You got those internal routed cables, pivots. You don't need to be checking the bike in and waiting for it to get serviced. This stuff gets you fully set up so you can get out there and enjoy the ride longer. And then here, another one that's inspired from our sister company from the industrial side. This is a satellite bearing, so this brings us full circle. Back in 1999, our founder was inspired by NASA technology of the hybrid ceramic bearing. And so now, this was in 2015, we had our first aerospace application to where we were doing hand-built bearings applied into telecommunications satellites that were going up into orbit. So we brought it in just 16 short years, full circle.